We'll call this meeting order. I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Salute the flag. Councilman Reynolds. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll get right into our meeting. First order of business, approved minutes of the October 8th meeting and the October 16th town board meeting. Motion by Councilman Alexander. Second by Councilman Quintel. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All right. Next, we have to do a public hearing on the community block grant project. And I'll ask the clerk to read the public notice.
Town of Warrensburg will hold a public hearing on November 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall. The purpose of the public hearing comment is for comments on the Town of Warrensburg's current community development block grant program. The Town of Warrensburg home improvement program of $500,000. The CDBG program is administered by the New York State Office of Community Renewal and provides resources to eligible local governments for housing, economic development, public facilities, public infrastructure, and planning activities with the principal purpose for benefiting low to moderate income persons. The hearing will provide further information about the progress of the ongoing CDBG program, comments related to the effectiveness and administration of the CDBG program will also be received at this time. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to section 570486, subpart 1 of the CFR in compliance with the requirements of the Housing Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The town office is accessible to persons with disabilities. If special accommodations are needed for persons with disabilities, those with hearing impairments to those in need of translation from English. Those individuals should contact the town clerk's office at least 3 days in advance of the hearing date to allow for necessary arrangements. Written comments may also be submitted to the supervisor, Kevin Garrity, in person by November 19th, 2025.
Okay, we'll open a public hearing on the CBG grant that we recently completed. It's $500,000 grant. We were able to, I think, help out at least 6 different homeowners to improve their properties in town. Does anybody wish to comment on this? We are applying for another grant for the next year. Anybody want to comment on the CBG?
I guess I don't understand what it is. Would you explain it to me?
Yeah, it's a community block grant, and we applied for money through the federal government and state government, and we got money to fix up homes. People, it was based on a application basis. It's strictly private. The town board doesn't get involved in picking the applicants. Pam, how many applicants did we have? I know we had 40 or 50 people in town apply for this grant, and I think 6 were awarded it this past year. So we're going to do it again. It's a good program.
Only 6 out of 40 or 50?
Well, whatever we had money for, the $500,000 that we had to use to fix up the homes.
4 homes and 6.
4 or 5 homes, yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? Come forward to the mic so I can hear you.
Hi, good
State your
evening.
name for record.
My name is Fraser Strain. Were those modular homes you guys put up for these folks?
No, this is working on homes.
Home homes. So
Yes,
you
we
just-
do have one we're applying for mobile homes. That's coming. We hope to get something in the future.
Would that be in the hamlet, the mobile home?
I don't think it was restricted to Hamlet. I don't believe so. No, it's all of the town, but that will be coming in the future.
Okay, so you just fixed up existing houses? You
Yes.
fixed existing
Yeah, they
houses?
come in and fix homes. You know, there could be heating systems, it could be floors, could be roofs, it could be a lot of stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was very successful, we felt. Anybody else? Nobody else? We'll close this public hearing at 7:05. Next, we gotta adjourn this town board meeting and go into the Board of Public Health. So I ask somebody to make a motion to adjourn the town board meeting. Motion made and seconded to adjourn the town board meeting. Now we're gonna operate as the Board of Health, and I'll ask that the Tom Hutchins and the property owner of 412 Alden Avenue, please come forward. They had a request for a septic variance on their location.
Good evening, Board.
We're happy to report that we got our report from the town engineer and he agreed with the plans. So I think I would not make a motion for us to allow the variance, so you could go ahead and put the septic system in.
As we have presented the revised plans.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
okay. Is that acceptable?
That works. That would be
Does
great.
somebody want?
That's what we're looking for.
John, second by
Did you
Johnson.
open, you opened the public hearing, sorry.
I can't hear you.
Did you open the public hearing?
Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Wanna make sure. All right.
Honestly, there you
I was reading the document and I wanted to make sure.
Okay. So we have a motion and second to grant the variance for the septic system at 412 Alden Avenue. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Tom, we'll send you out something.
Send out a resolution. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
For your patience. Now we need a motion to close the Warrensburg Board of Health hearing. A motion by Robert, second by Brian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, now we have a motion to reopen the town board meeting. Do you want to make that? John, Brian? Okay. Next, I'll ask the clerk to read the notice on the public hearing.
Local law. Please take notice that the Warrensburg Town Board will hold a public hearing at the Town Hall at 7 p.m. on November 12th, 2025, to hear all persons interested on the matter adoption of the proposed local law entitled A Local Law to Amend Chapter 11 Zoning of the Town of Warrensburg. Town code to require the discontinuance and removal of non-conforming mobile/manufactured homes. If adopted, the local law would discontinue non-conforming mobile manufactured home use and require the removal of mobile manufactured homes in certain limited circumstances. Please take further notice that a copy of the proposed local law is on file in the town clerk's office. Please take further notice that all persons interested in this subject will be heard at this time and place.
Okay, all right, we'll declare this public hearing open. Anybody who wishes to address the board, please come up to the microphone, state your name for the record, and we'll take any comments.
Supervisor.
Want to be first and get this over with.
Okay.
Supervisor.
I have a-
Hold on.
One second before you start. I just see that there are a lot of people, so if we are gonna set ground rules about timeframes.
Yes,
we should
2
do it
minutes.
before anyone starts, so that everyone's treated fairly.
You got 2 minutes and we get one bite of the apple.
Okay, mine's written. I got a question for each board member here, and I would ask that you would take individual turns at answering my questions, maybe not now, but sometime during the meeting. Number one, what is the ultimate goal for each board member concerning this matter? How does it ultimately serve our fellow citizens? Is this motivated by aesthetics? You don't like seeing them around town? Is it money or power just because you can? Are you aware of the legal consequences in zoning authority overreach or constitutional violations? And lastly, how would just compensation be administered? Is it politically motivated? Just would like to hear your input on those questions. Thank you.
Anybody next? Please come up.
Craig Nicholson. Wondering about, I have a mobile home park up on, it's called River Run. There's 6 units up there. It's not in a hatched area. It's been there since the 80s. So I'm wondering if that whole park just gets eliminated and it becomes an empty lot. I'm I'm also wondering about the fellow when you come into town on the right-hand side by the Schroon River. He's got, what, 12 units? He has to eliminate all his. He's not in the hatched area. I also have two other houses that are, it's a mobile home, but there's an addition on each side of it that runs all the way down the unit. It has a foundation, a cobblestone, it has cedar siding, and there's a mobile home in the center of it. Does that have to be somehow pulled out of the middle of it? And then I have another one on Library Avenue, the 90 Library Avenue. 2/3 of it, half is a house and half is a mobile home. It looks just like a house. So my question is, what happens to these places that have been turned into homes?
Jim, you want to address the ones in the park area, or should we just, if it's in a mobile overlay area, there will be no effect?
It's not in an overlay
Not in
area.
that overlay.
River Run is not in in an overlay area. There's 6 units up there that have been there.
What's your name? I give Mr.
Craig
Craig.
Nicholson,
All right, we'll get back to you.
right? And I have 2. One's 33 Smith. That's 80% home, 20% mobile home. And the other one is 50/50. That's 90 Library Avenue. So all these just go away. I don't have a problem with them going away. I just want to I just want to have the money made right. If you want it gone, and you're gonna take 50% of the value, let's have it appraised, and then the town can pay us 50% for pulling those homes out, but they don't even look like homes.
We're just gathering information.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Cami Epedico. I'm just wondering, what do you guys consider to be the hamlet of Warrensburg?
There's a map.
There's a map.
Yeah.
So that includes the trailer parks, like on Skylark. If you take the trailers out of there, are these properties gonna be big enough to even get a permit to build a house on? Or,
Is her microphone on? Because nobody can hear her back here.
Skylark is in it.
Skylark is in the overlay,
Skylark is in an overlay for mobile homes.
so that's a
They're
safe
allowed.
zone, one side of Skylark anyway.
so why did this come about? Is it because of aesthetics and people aren't taking care of their properties? Is this certain properties, why this came about and everybody else is being dragged into it?
I have no idea.
You just,
Oh, really?
it's been brought up and we're looking into it. We want to get public input. We don't plan on making any decisions tonight on this. We just want to get the public input and feel how the public feels about the potential of this law, changing to this law.
Yeah, we gotta meet a lot more and discuss a lot more.
Hi, I'm Sharon Lee, and I live at 35 Smith Street, next door to Mr. Nichols' property. And the lady across the street from me has a house. The only time her yard gets mowed is when the town sends somebody in to mow it. And he filled his trailer all with the trash from her yard and piled up a bunch by the road. And this was the end of June, 1st July, and the town was supposed to pick it up. It's still sitting there. And you're worried about the way places look junky or what? And you guys are leaving the trash right there. And the only time her leaves get raked are when they blow over in my yard.
35 Smith Street?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Duffy Langley, live at 150 Library Avenue. The way that this thing is being promoted, the way it's worded, is gonna leave the town open to a lot of lawsuits. Because I have had conversation with a lawyer that you're devaluating my property. So my property is worth $50,000 with nothing on it. Right now it's worth $103,000 with the trailer on it. So if you want to devalue my property, my attorney says I have the right to sue you for the removal of the trailer. That's $5,000 to get it done. And the difference between $50,000 and $103,000. Now, if I win, which I will, because it's happened in several other towns with this sunset law, they went through and reworded it. So if you want lawsuits, you got 31 people right here that can sue the town of Warrensburg. At an average of about 60 grand a piece, I hope you got a couple $1 million in your contingency fund.
I'm apparently smaller than some of you. Hi, I'm Brenda Hayes, and I don't currently live in a mobile home, but several of my family members do, my friends do. We are a small community, and we're not a rich community. Mobile homes make it affordable for those people who can't afford huge houses. That's not our community. Our community is small. Our community is home. And these mobile homes, most of them look nicer than a lot of those houses out there. If you really want to get nitpicky, you need to go and look at some of the houses and start fixing them up. Put some siding on some of them. The mobile homes are not the problem. Matter of fact, the mobile homes are what keeps us a community. And there should be no laws saying this one can't have one, and if you got move or whatever, if you're going to sell your property, you got to get rid of that mobile home. They can't. Or if you die, you can't put the mobile home back there where it was. And like somebody had mentioned, the properties are not awful big. So when you go to put something new on them, where do you put them? Next thing you know, everybody's going to be like right on top of one another like they are in the cities. That's ridiculous. That's not what we are.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carol Ross. I live at 21 Summit Street. My father, Dwayne Perry's, lived in Warrensburg his whole life. His mother raised him here. He lives in a trailer. If he dies tomorrow, does this mean that I have a certain amount of time to take his trailer off of there, which has been our homestead our whole life? That's where I grew up. So you're going to take away our homestead? I mean, it's maybe just a trailer to you, but it's our life. It's our legacy, and it may not be much, but it's what we have. I just want to know the input on that. I mean, what makes your place more of a home than my home? It's
We
what's in
appreciate
it.
you coming, and that's
You
what
know,
we're here to
yeah,
listen.
it's just, I mean, it's just, it is. Your home is just as much as my home. I mean, it's just, yeah. And the thought of losing my father, and on top of that, even though it's a trailer, it's my life.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you.
Debbie Baker, 32 Warren Street. I guess I need to know what conforming and non-conforming, and what sections, why they're all right and other sections aren't. And if you already know what properties are involved, I'm surprised that the homeowners weren't given the courtesy of at least a written letter stating what may be coming. I think, a property owner should have that courtesy extended.
We should have been notified for this meeting. Every 2 inch by 2 inch in the new.
Please address us. If you have a question. I think some of this was doing to try to bring the zoning code up to date. The zoning code was passed in '88 and again in 2012. And we've been kind of lax in bringing it, but the reason why we're doing this and the reason why we're asking people to come in tonight is to give us your opinion on if you want this change put in or don't want the change put in. And we're going to take the input, and then the board will discuss it further. We may not do anything with this, but we wanted to get the input from the people. But I think a lot of it can be explained if you go in the back and you look at the zoning maps. It was done a couple of times, and it's just to bring them up to speed. We may have to go in and change the maps. We may, as one lady said, cleaning up a property, maybe we'll have to address some of this through property maintenance codes. We don't know yet. So I'm glad people are coming in and give us your opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm against it, so.
Debbie?
Yeah.
So one of your questions was on what constitutes a non-conforming use? And I think if we answer that now, we don't want to wait till the end. And so basically zoning went in, and then in 2012, the master plan got looked at, and these mobile home overlays got put in.
Speak up, please.
Sorry, I'm trying, we don't have a microphone. So the mobile home overlays got put in to the zoning. So basically, you gotta have somewhere for mobile homes to be allowed. So the overlays got designated a couple spots that are those hatched area, which is kind of vague on the map, I agree. So the ones that, like yourself, are not in the hatched area, you became a non-conforming but pre-existing use.
Right.
That means, in layman's terms, you're grandfathered in. I was at those meetings, and I'll tell everybody here, at no time in those meetings did it ever come up that said, we're gonna grandfather these people, and then we're gonna try to sneak it in 10, 12 years down the road. We're gonna try to maybe take away that grandfathered rights. That is absolutely ludicrous to do that. Some of these are beautiful, well-kept homes. We're looking at Debbie Baker. Fred works crazy on his lawn. So there's absolutely no reason to be looking at this law in my eyes whatsoever. I don't know why it came up. It came up to me, and I opposed even putting it forward to a public hearing. So I'm sorry that we're all here tonight, and I'm hoping we're going to get it taken care of once you people all have your say, and we'll stay till midnight if we got it, you know?
Thanks. Thank you, Brian.
Janet Coleman, 15 Mountain Avenue. I have lots and lots of questions. You might not have all the answers. In the newspaper, it said there were 62 mobile homes in town. I assume they got that information from the town. Is that right?
62 in the hamlet.
That's okay. That was my first question. So would this sunset rule apply to only mobile homes in the hamlet or in the town at large, outside of the hamlet?
It's only designed at the hamlet.
Right now, we're looking at Hamlet.
Right. Okay. Is this sunset law or whatever in the most recently approved comprehensive plan for the town?
Well, the zones were approved.
Okay, but the
Not the
sunsetting
not
rule
that
was
I'm
not.
no.
Okay, so it seems like the New York Department of State would have some problems with it then, according to what the newspaper article said.
Okay.
This overlay area, the map, where can town citizens go to see that?
The planning office.
The planning office, so it's not on the town website?
It could be on the website, I don't know.
Okay.
If it's probably, we could get it posted.
Okay. I guess I understand that you're just hearing what people have to say. I live in a home. I have never lived in a mobile home. I live in a house. I have several neighbors that live in mobile homes fairly close to me. Some of them don't look great, but those are my neighbors. They deserve to have a place to live. And I know that I benefit from having them as neighbors. So I don't want to do anything that is going to make it so that people who are of low to moderate income do not have a place to live in this town. We don't have enough low to moderate income housing in Warrensburg. We don't have enough in Warren County. Other towns, other surrounding towns get their workers from here because they don't have it. Lake George does not have, almost no low to moderate income housing. And you're going to find that if we get rid of the more of that low to moderate income housing, you're not going to have workers for the businesses in town here. I can't think of a single person in South Glens Falls who is going to want to drive up here for $12.50 an hour for a 5-hour shift. So my last question is, has the board thought about doing anything to increase the amount of low to moderate income housing to replace the mobile homes that you are considering removing? And I would like an answer. Has the board considered
Right
that?
now, we're just gaining facts.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marie Ellison, 7 Keys Street.
First of all, let me thank Brian Rounds for letting the town folk know about this new proposal. There are quite a few trailers in town. Some are nice, some are not. The same as houses. To think that our representatives would consider a rule that trailers could not be replaced, even in the case of a fire, is just beyond me. It's horrible. If others built these nice, big, beautiful homes across the street from a trailer, they knew it was there. That's a pre-existing condition. They can't replace what they lost if they have a fire. There's no way an insurance company is going to build them a big, new, beautiful home. And you're saying they got to clear it up in 30 days? That's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe you guys. They are in their trailer. Some of them have lived there for years. We are not Queensbury. We are Warrensburg. This is a horrible suggestion. And I'm lucky enough to live in a home. And I'm lucky enough to have it paid for. But if you build your big, beautiful home across the street from someone who lives in a trailer, they already have that house there. Your time limits are ridiculous to remove something in 30 days. I can't believe you do this kind of stuff. I've never been to a town board meeting before. Never. But this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. And I'm ashamed of whoever brought it forward.
I'm Barbara Langworthy. I live at 150 Library Avenue. For years, when my husband and I first got married, we lived at 129 Library Avenue. Back then, it was a decent lot. Today, it's looking like it's going to be cleaned up one way or the other. When we moved down there years ago in 1970s, there was nothing but mobile homes and a couple of houses. It seems to me since the houses up the road at the end of Library Avenue and another lot with a small home on it was just bought down there to be rebuilt on, and that's exactly what's going to happen. We know it down there. Everybody that lives down there right now just about has lived there for years. Some of them in mobile homes.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to them?
No, I'm talking to everybody.
Okay, I just wanted clarification.
I've lived down there for years. We all know one another. We all protect one another. We all look out for one another. We don't need to sell our homes, give them up, or anything else. We built a legacy. And looking around this room, about 90% of the people here that own mobile homes are elderly people. So it's like you want to push us out of our homes. And it should not happen.
My name is Kathy Hall. I live on 13 Thompson Street. And it's basically almost in the center of town. And I have beautiful homes that are built around me. That property has had mobile homes and trailers on it for years. Now, we keep it up. I mow my lawns. We do all of the outside work and everything. Yes, there are some mobile homes that need to be addressed, which is down the road, and I understand that. I think that they should be brought to the owners or the landlords or whoever and give them time to fix them, either fine them or do something, just like, you go around and mow your lawns, and if you don't mow them, you get fined or whatever. The town takes care of that. And also, when you come into town, right across from the Getty Station, the old Getty Station, that building that's on there, that is an eyesore. It really needs to be addressed. I think that's more important than some of these mobile homes that are around the areas. Thank you.
Good evening, Teresa Coughlin of 5 Teresa James Street. Allow me just to give the town a little bit of history. Back in 1963, when the Northway was being built, Morris Richards opened his arms to those workers, and they lived in the mobile home park. That was my dad. My dad soon moved from there, which was employment for around this area, income back in those days. Then my dad bought off from Library Avenue Extension, and he developed another development, which was Hastings. And then it went on from there. My dad was a hard-working single parent. He then stopped the construction and built the area of Teresa James Street. He was tough. Whether you owned your lot or didn't own your lot, he was tough. He made sure. I hate the thought to think that those people, not that he couldn't have bought a house, he liked what he had, and what I have is a gold mine on my street. And to think my dad left everything in a trust, and somebody from here is going to say that I could not, or my brother, we can't pass it down. I don't think so. Okay? Not that we couldn't, we still have property that we could build on. But the whole fact is, you have to take people into consideration. These areas were developed to help those. Okay, and then I think a mission statement of the opening could have been a little bit more clear for people to understand. Okay, and the master plan, thank you for bringing that up. That was on my list, grandfathered in. And I was really shocked to have only one board member vote no, and everybody just, yes. But did you think it through as businessmen? Thank you.
Anybody else? Come on.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to stand too close to this mic because I'm loud and I'm also hard of hearing. But I'd like to bring a couple things quick. I'm going to talk fast.
Your name?
My name is Rob Edmonds Jr. I live at 20 Hoffman Drive, in case you're interested. Mr. Hull's very familiar with me. So I'm a hardworking guy. I work about 6 days a week. And I kind of got aggravated at this whole town ordinance thing because the town's pushing people who are not capable of mowing their own lawn without a fine. Not taking into consideration there's 27 weekends straight of rain. Okay, but you're still wasting the town's time and taxpayer dollars sending notices out, oh, you better mow your grass. That's the worst thing that we need to think about. I want all of you board members who voted yes to go to my dad's house and tell him that his constitutional right for the pursuit of happiness, liberty, and freedom. I want you to go tell him that that doesn't matter because he's a vet. I want you to go tell him that that doesn't matter because it's more important for you guys to outlaw trailers than to take care of the people in this town. If you even thought for a second how that would infringe on somebody's rights instead of what you want to see. If you don't like where you live, put a real estate sign out front and move. You're free. It's free country, remember? I will tell everybody right here, right now, and I know I'm loud, that I will make sure that it is my mission in life to drive through this town with a piece of plywood on the back of my truck. If you guys pass this law, I will make sure that every single person has somebody to run against come this next election. Okay? Because this is nonsense. This is like brown shirt kind of stuff. Oh, I don't like that you live in a trailer, so I'm going to make it impossible for you to live. And what happens? My dad's 77 years old. My mother's 80-something. What happens if my mother dies? My dad would love to live out the rest of his days in that house, and you're going to go tell him, or you're going to go tell him that he has to move? No, you're part of this. You started this shit. Thank you. You work for us. We pay your salary. We pay your salary. Okay? And we want you. You're not going to cut me off. You are not going to cut me off, Mr. Gary.
You can continue.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I would like you to do that. If you pass this, I would like that in the resolution, that you have to go tell every single person who has to be traded that you don't care, that your laws are more important than the people in this town. The people who can't afford to go buy, oh, hey, let's bring up the fact that you just doubled our assessments on everybody. I bought my house for $45,000. I put my blood, sweat, and tears to rebuild the inside of that house so it's livable. Now you're telling me it's worth over 100 and some thousand? I'm in this little district too. I own a piece of property that with this, you're going to tell me now that I can't put a trailer on it or a mobile home or a manufactured home, a double wide on my property because you guys don't like it? This is ridiculous. And I hope that you look the laws up and see what kind of constitutional violations that is. Because I'm here. Somebody like Glenda wants to step up and say, hey, I'll run a fund for the lawyer. I would gladly give to that fund. I hope that you guys pay attention to how much riled up you have and the fact that this was just like a little sneaky link thing.
That's why we're having a public hearing.
Okay, so where did you advertise that public hearing?
In the paper, like we're required to.
Should we drive through town with the board like you want to do and say town board meeting on the 12th of November? I mean,
Don't you guys get free mailings for the town? No, I would propose that maybe if you're going to change some kind of big zoning thing, that the town apportions the money with grants or however to send out information regarding all of this instead of just trying to sneak it. I'm sorry, but I think that's really sneaky, and I think that what you guys are doing is underhanded. Okay, and I hope
We haven't done anything. That's why we're getting in.
the mere fact that you suggested it speaks a ton about your character. Thank you, Mr. Garrity, and have a good night.
John Delciello, Grand Avenue. I got a piece of property. You guys rezoned it. Never informed me about it. Talking about sneaky stuff. I got overseas containers on it. Can't put an overseas container on a residential piece of property, can you? You agreed back around 2000 or so. I came here. You told me I could put my warehouse back there for my vacuum shop. Again, a couple of years later, you approved me for a flea market there. Same piece of property. 2012, you changed the rules. All of a sudden, my property becomes residential. I was never informed of that. So now, what happens with my piece of property with these containers on them?
Ironically, you're asking a question. I think that they would become pre-existing, non-conforming uses. I don't. And like I say, those planners.
So when I go to sell it, those have to go off.
No. The grandfathered use follows the land. That's the way it is in zoning law. This thing that was proposed to us came about. It was a shock to me. So that's why I didn't want to push it forward, because of what we're feeling right now. I knew the kind of storm it was going to stir up. And I appreciate you all being here. And yours is a little bit of a different case because you went from being zoned commercial and somehow you got taken out of the commercial zone on that side of the street.
On both two pieces of property.
Yeah.
That was adjoining. I was never informed. According to the New York State Senate, there's a law saying that I should have been informed.
All right. I agree. That's at the last meeting,
All
when
right.
this law was proposed to us. That's what I said to my people in the room that night. I said, how are we going to inform these people? And I said, are we going to take out a 2x2 ad in the Times of Thai? Or are we going to go knock on their doors and give them a letter and let them know what's coming? Because I said, and I said,
the Post-Star, who buys it anymore?
nobody buys the Post-Star.
So why not put it in the other papers?
Yeah. Well, that's why the video. That was not political grandstanding. That was genuine concern on my part for people, because I have friends out there who live in a place the way Craig Nicholson described, a mobile home with a roof built around it. I have a couple mobile homes. I got dough enough. I can tear them out tomorrow and I can build new houses. But I don't want to, because people need a place to live and they need a place that's affordable. So when a trailer goes vacant or a mobile home goes vacant in Warrensburg, you don't even have to put an ad out or for rent sign out. Somehow it comes out of the ether and people know because we all got waiting lists. People are just dying for a place to live and to move into. And people need these places to live. I know I'm getting off track with your particular
Okay, well, people need these places to live. Why take my commercial piece of property and turn it into a residential? What did that gain?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I came to the supervisor and asked him, shook my hand, said, yeah, I'll take it in front of the 2 planning boards. I don't know which one. This was in March. I heard nothing. About July, I got a letter from Patty Carlou to have my lawyer contact to see what I want to do with the property. Same thing been doing with the property. It's a warehouse for my vacuum cleaner shop.
I got you.
We did look into your property, and maybe you didn't get notified, but we did look into your property.
And
we'll get you an answer. I have to check.
I mean, I came to you. You remember shaking my hand? And you told me you were gonna bring it in front of one of the planning boards.
I went to the planning department. We'll check into it.
I heard nothing. 4 months later, I got my lawyer's got to contact you to see what I want to do with the property. We went through this back in the year
This is
2000.
not what we're here for, but John, I understand.
It's just another. You're trying to sneak this in the way they snuck something else in on me. I never got informed.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Silas Tucker. I own 84 Library Avenue. I bought the place roughly 8 years ago to give my mom a place to live. Fixed it up, remodel it, painted it, put new windows in it, made it look really nice. Took care of it. It's the lawn's manicured. The place is taken care of. Say down the road, I really don't want to be a landlord. I don't really want to rent it. So when mom decides to go to a nursing home, or she has to come live with me, or she has to, whatever she has to do. So I just say, okay, I want to find somebody that wants to buy it. So normally a mobile home, you really can't get a bank loan on. So normally someone that I would think someone that's kind of got some money would be somewhat level-headed, whether they went to Florida for the winter and liked it here in Adirondacks and didn't want to spend, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 on a home. They just wanted a little place to call their own and come back in the, late spring. So if this law was to go into effect, so I decided to sell it to Susie or whatever. Does she really want to buy it and have to rip it out within 5 years? I mean, does anybody here want to buy something and then 30 days or 30 days rip it out? So furthermore, if you were going to stick build something there, is there room to stick build on each side of it if the property's, say roughly 60, 65 feet by 160 feet? I mean, it's good now because mom lives there. She takes care of it. We cleaned it up. We take care of it. I can't say that about some of the neighbors. I ain't worried about them. We get along with them, whatever. But our place there's no garbage. There's no shit all over the place. So when that time comes, how would I be able to it's not a mansion. It's not a condo, but I'd at least like to get my money back. Everything that I've put into it and made it nice, and I get a lot of compliments. So where would I be at with that? Do we have any buyers? And you got to have it out in 30 days.
We understand. Thanks.
Hi, it's Teresa Carlson again.
Let somebody else talk.
Okay, but I would just like to kindly remind the board members as well to be as professional as possible and not play into, there's a lot of feelings going on in here, okay? To show that type of behavior is not good. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dan Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. Couple quick things. I know a lot of questions have been answered and dealt with. The 5-year thing in 30 days, who can afford to come up with $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to have an old trailer removed? You say you can't put a trailer back on, it has to be stick built. Well, if somebody wants to put a slab on, put their camper in there for the summer. Is that gonna be allowed? No. So this property now, you've lost tax revenue, major, because now the home is gone. If grandma ends up dying, there's no children. Who ends up with the property? Who's gonna clean it out? The town, the taxpayers, the county? Who's gonna foot that bill? We are, right? Right. Why? There's no reason for this. Just because there's a couple of crybabies around town that don't like the looks of these mobile homes in their neighborhood, when there's houses around and buildings around that nobody's been in for over 10 years. Some have started renovations and just left them, but that's okay. Houses that need paint, they look like crap. We bring this world's largest garbage sale in town, and we show these houses that look terrible. We put a dollar store in the middle of town. We get rid of an old, beautiful home because nobody wanted. The taxes are too high in this town. Like another gentleman said, I paid $30,000 for my house. It was a small house. It needed a lot of renovations. It jumped to 147. Now it's up to 230,000 for a 2-bedroom house on 1 acre of land. It's getting out of hand. For what? So they can put a sidewalk in that doesn't need it? Pave River Street again, that only been done 2 years ago? Why? Why is this happening? Sidewalks up in the Klondike, if any of you know what the Klondike is, you can't even see the sidewalks. Over in King's Addition, sidewalks are buried by lawns. The street is higher than the sidewalks, but we're worried about occasional little 60 some odd mobile homes. You talk about manufactured homes. Does this imply the module homes? They're built in a factory, a warehouse, brought in on a trailer. No difference. They're still built with the same floor plan, the same materials as a single wide, but you're not harassing them. You're talking about these single wides and double wides because they're just sitting on top of the ground because nobody put a slab underneath it to protect the underside. If these people want to live in these places, what harm is it going to do other than some crybabies that doesn't like the looks of it? I'm paying this much for taxes. Why should I have to look at this? Don't like it, like another gentleman said, get out of town. Thank you and have a good night.
Can I speak from here?
You can, I think you can.
I'm Tammy Frazier. I have a mobile home at 7 Scotts Drive. I guess is in the overlay where it's protected. But what's to say that things aren't going to seep into other areas of town? Now, my grandmother bought that place over 50 years ago. I put a newer mobile home in there. I put over $30,000 into that place. And if that creeps up there, I can't leave it to my daughter.
And you're also not gonna tell me what I can and can't do with that property. I don't care who any of you are.
And that's
That's not how that works.
So let me just, if I have the floor for a minute, I want to go back to Glenda. When you spoke, you had some things, I made some notes. And you asked for motivation. What was the motivation? And I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I want that in no way, shape, or form to make like I'm at all interested in this or promoting this. But what happens in the community is these older places, so the motivation is in other towns and other places, they say, well, we put this sunset law in so that these things kind of expire organically, like maybe grandpa dies and then the kids don't want it or whatever, and somebody buys it and gets cleaned up and a new house gets built. That's like the best case scenario for a town because now you got a building you can tax and get more revenue from. I can tell you,
Well, who's gonna build a stick frame house with Trailerville all around
I'm
you?
coming around to that. I'm coming around.
That's unrealistic.
I'm coming around.
You're
for it.
right,
Now,
you're right.
I own vacant lots all around town. Just sold one that I'd had for 16 years. Sitting, I probably paid more in taxes than I paid for the lot. Sold it, and finally somebody's building on it. It's a beautiful house. So, but it just doesn't happen that often. So I'm thinking about if trailers start getting tugged out every time, there's just not going to happen. The building doesn't happen that fast around here. I'm one of those people that built my mom a new house in a neighborhood where there's 10 trailers that she can look out her window and see 10 trailers. They built a new house. It's like hanging a chandelier in a haunted house. I can tell you that. But those are good people. That's where they live. Those are all humans living there, whether they're owned by the people that live in them or if it's a landlord that owns them. It makes no difference. These are homes, and I'm really sorry that this whole thing got brought to light. It should have been common sense. Should have squashed
Give you the
this.
questions and see if you could
Well,
answer them.
I wrote your stuff down.
Or
and I
the other members, I'd like to just give it to you and get your answers if I could, please. Thank you.
And I can tell you what the tax base that we would lose from not having mobile homes in the interim, till somebody finally gets around to building a stick-built home, we're never gonna see it in our lifetime. Never. So,
Rich people don't wanna,
yeah.
you know, realistically, I mean, I love them both.
Yeah.
The one in the trailer and the one in the mansion, but
Well,
it just doesn't work out that way.
and here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing everybody's got to think about is if you are living in a house and something bothers you, if you look across the street and you see something that bothers you, don't leave town. That's ludicrous. Write a check. Find out what the assessed value is and buy that person's property. Pay them double if it bothers you that much. You know? Because, listen, hey, I'm not being facetious. This is America, and there's absolutely no zone or no limit on the amount of money you can have or how much you can make or earn. It's all up to you. So if something bothers you, write a check, then clean it up, do whatever you want with it. You know? So other than that, point of order, I think we heard a lot. I think it's time to close the public hearing, and I'd like to make a motion that we put this matter to rest to never be revisited again. And I'm going to back that up with.
Councilman, are we sure no one else wants to speak? You just want to
Well,
know sure we don't cut anyone off.
I won't cut anybody up who wants to speak, but I just want to read something from our zoning ordinance. It says, in the absence of regulations addressing abandonment, destruction, amortization, termination, or ban on transfer, like you folks were talking about, the right of the non-conforming use will run with the land. That's the way this was designed and planned back in 2012 when those new overlays were put in. So there was no dirty tricks going on back then. It was just saying, sorry, these people they're going to be grandfathered in. Now that also means if the owner of a mobile home, which has become a non-conforming use, which means when that zone passed and they, unbeknownst to them or without any of their input, became a non-conforming use, if they wish to replace it with a new or different mobile home, he may do so, provided the new mobile home occupies no greater part of the building envelope than the existing trailer did. And in the event the home would occupy a larger envelope, they need a variance, which that's standard boilerplate stuff that's in zoning law. So this sunset law, whatever has happened in the rest of the state, and I just like to say, I don't care what the other kids are doing. It's not right for Warrensburg. So I'd like to.
Anybody else wish to speak? Anybody else wish to address the board?
We just don't want to close the public hearing until everyone has an opportunity.
How's it going? Waylon Cook.
You state your name.
What's that?
You give us your name just.
I did, Waylon Cook.
Well, I don't have my ears in.
So I do a fair amount of work, not just in Warrensburg. Let's say, I don't think you're gonna hear me anyways. Way down here. There's, if it's people worried about what somebody's trailer looks like, or if it needs work, there is a lot of different grant companies out there that I had seen a lot of places I had torn down that were actually fairly decent. And these people can apply for this. They can go online, print the paper off, apply for it. I just did one right here in town. Okay. We tore the trailer out, poured a new slab. The guy got a new septic system, new water line. It's all insulated, skirted. It's all up to federal code, town code. It didn't cost him anything. They put him in a place to live for however long it takes. For however long it takes. They put him in there. Okay, it doesn't cost anything. Some places may not need that much work. The grant company will come in. If it's a handicapped person needs a new ramp, they'll give them a ramp. They'll come hire a contractor. They'll come in. They'll build it for them. So I think you probably should maybe step back a little bit and look at it more and say, maybe you should advocate to these people in town that could use that grant. There's one grant place is Rebuild New York, Saratoga County. It's not just for Saratoga County. It's for Warren, Washington, Saratoga, Essex. It goes all over. There's another program. It's called Renewable Community Renewal is the other one. And that one does, I've seen them do houses. It's not just modulars or mobile homes. We're doing a house right now for them. So we're going to tear the old house down. We're putting a new house in with a foundation. So maybe you could send letters out and advocate that rather than go around and say,
We have applied for grant funds.
you don't apply for this. These people just say he goes online and fills this out and sends it back. It has nothing to do with the town.
Yeah, we did send somebody that direction to try to get some help.
I'm not saying you have. I'm just saying if you maybe could advocate that to people and say, there's this program you can go on to, there's this program you can go to. And I'm not saying everybody's going to get it. The list may be 2-year wait, but rather than try to say, oh, your trailer burnt down, just say you work a job that's what you have. The person had 3 kids at a young age. They got stuck in a rut, and that's just how their life went, and they couldn't get ahead. That's where they live. Where are they going to come up with? Because I know how much it is to do these jobs. Where are they going to come up with $65,000 to go down to Queensbury and say, I need a new trailer within 30 days? Now they got to pour a new pad to put this trailer on because that's code. Oh, your septic system didn't pass. Now we got to put a septic system in. They ain't going to have $100,000 just to throw on the ground and say, boom, 30 days, it's done. So maybe advocate a little more towards people to say, here's these programs, file for these programs. They may not give you a new home, but they may come in and do some renovations for these people to help them and maybe make everything more appealing to people around town. I mean, not that it don't bother me what my neighbor's house looks like. I don't pay his taxes. That's his deal. That's not mine. But would I love to see everybody in here get a new home? Absolutely. That's what we all work for.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody else?
Anybody else out here?
I'm Tori Bruce. Just have a couple of questions. Mr. Rounds, you said something about a few minutes ago about making a resolution tonight to have this done and over with. I'd love for you to do that, we all would. If you don't do that tonight, how are you going to let us know which way the vote went on this? Is it going to be a little 2-inch notification in the classifieds, or are you going to put something on the front page of the local paper? How are people going to know what your vote is?
I'm sure hopefully we'll give you an answer before you all leave tonight. Okay.
Good evening, Rich Larkin, 11 Thompson Street. Nice to see everybody. This has got to be the most ill-conceived presentation on the part of the board and the town of Warrensburg that I've seen here in over 35 years. I'll give you a thought as to how you might approach improvements with the properties that you may not appreciate the condition. There's private grant money that Waylon just talked about. There's grant money that's available to the town that Mr. Garrity and I have worked on in the past. It isn't a whole bunch of money all at once, but it's money that we can put toward helping our friends and neighbors. All the people that are in this room are the backbone of this community. They go to work in the morning. They put their whole lives in because they love this community. They shop locally. They retire here and stay here because they love Warrensburg. For the town board to belittle somebody's living condition is despicable. I would appreciate you following Mr. Round's lead and you put this to bed right here and right now, because there are an abundance of reasons why you should. Number one, there's people that are not in the room that have authorized me to make it clear to you that there's money being put aside for any pending lawsuit that'll come to the town for such an ill-conceived set of circumstances. I respect all of you gentlemen. Somebody wasn't thinking when this got put on the table. I've seen it happen in other communities, and it belittled the people that were in trailers and double wides, and it moved them away from the communities I'm aware of. And I don't want to see that happen to my friends here in Warrensburg. I love every one of them, and I really appreciate my neighbors, because when I'm in a short supply of energy, my neighbors who live in trailers are the ones that come by and pick me up and say, Rich, we're going to get you through today. When I think about somebody having that want to leave a legacy to their children, an inheritance, if you will, and the town board's telling them, well, you can leave them the property, but the trailer has to go, you just cut their property value in half or even more. And you guys don't have the right to do that. It's just not right. The only solution here, is to vote no on this tonight, because we don't want to, the people that are standing here don't want to think that you'd come back in the middle of February during a snowstorm and slide this on through, because that will not be acceptable. I thank you for the work you do, but you have to do what's right for this community. It brings back my thoughts on what I felt I was deceived on with a solar program up on Hackensack. I don't think you gentlemen put enough thought into this, and I ask that you give it due consideration right here and now and put it away tonight so these friends of mine can go home and sleep well. God bless you.
Thank you.
Carl Rule. You know, I'll just say that I appreciate Brian making this decision, 2 weeks before, and I will dip into a little bit into the election. Everybody knows that I ran for a council seat. I thought that this was a possible political move by the board. Couldn't help but wonder. Everybody knows that everybody's going to come out for this. Everybody knows Warrensburg. And, as the other board members just allowed Brian to kind of say his piece and how he didn't want to see the public hearing go, kind of allowed Brian to kind of shine in this moment, but then again, on the other side, I can't help but wonder why all the other board members would risk their reputation. So there's a part of me that kind of apologizes for running against Brian. I think his leadership and all this, my grandfather, Maynard Baker, helped support Brian. He's been a staple. He runs a good business in town. And I think he's paid his dues. So I really can't understand why we allowed this to go to public hearing. I thought you guys were going to cancel it. I'll be honest with you, because I didn't think that you guys could handle the scrutiny. I wouldn't want to be in your seat right now. So anyway, my thoughts.
Just to answer your question, Carl, I think on behalf of the board here, kind of a little perfect storm situation as I see it. With John leaving, thank you for your service. We're going to miss him, But with him leaving, two members who are relatively green, who don't know the process is good. Kevin, the process comes forward, was brought to our attention by the zoning code enforcement officer, said, hey, this is what's going on in other communities. Here it is. So now it becomes on the table, so to speak. So we got to look at it. And just it's a matter of procedure. They put it forward, and I've been around long enough to know that, hey, not every idea is a good idea. Doesn't need to be bothering the people. You people would rather be home doing something, and I want to get back to my motion to close the public hearing. I want to get these people home, and I want them to have an answer tonight that we're going to put this to bed, and we're never going to consider this again. You're grandfathered. You ought to be grandfathered in, and that's the way it stays.
Is there anybody else wish to speak?
Will we get notification of the grandfather?
If we shelve this, that means it just goes back to the way it's always been. You're grandfathered in, you know? And
Okay, so we don't have to worry about.
There'll be no action.
No action.
There'll be no action on this. It won't come up again.
But I certainly
I
don't
just
want
want to
to
make
do this
sure we
again.
open, has everybody had a chance to speak?
So, my name's Crystal. I've only lived here about for 25 years, but my husband and their family has been here all their lives. Me and my husband met in Glens Falls. That's where originally I'm sort of from. We moved up here because it was a community and it was a nice neighborhood and everybody's got their backs. And, you know, I like the school district and the way everybody, you know, I have a couple trailers around me, but I think that we, you know, just ask them nicely, can you clean up instead of getting rid of their homes? It would be a lot better.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Last call, anybody?
I just finished. Brian kind of cut me.
What's that?
So, can I finish?
Yes.
Can I finish?
Sure.
So it's an issue of aesthetics. Now, if a person built a house instead of moved in a trailer or double wide across from your house, what would you do about the house? So is it it becomes down to a discrimination because you live in a mobile home, other than, you know, a rundown house. There's plenty around town. There's, you know.
Yeah. There's nobody, you're Craig.
I know you said that the town got some money to fix up places, right? So was it?
We're applying for grants.
Oh, good. All right, so like 500,000, something like that, 500,000, is it?
Yeah. We're gonna apply for 500,000 for homes and
Good.
I think it's another 500,000 for mobile homes.
I think everybody here wants all the places to look immaculate. That's our hope. So for 500,000, you could take literally the outside of a mobile home. If you could make that prime for 5,000 to 10,000, that'd be 50 homes. Go up Main Street and clean it up. Whatever has to be done, Main Street should be first. Elm, River, and hit 50 places along there at 10,000 a piece. Some only need a paint job. And I can guarantee you, I can get painters for 10 grand to do a whole house. So your 500 grand we want the city to come up because we want it to look better. Our property values go up and more people want to visit. So I think it's not so much a matter of a mobile home versus a house. The houses look just as bad as the mobile homes do. They really do. And let's put the money into 50 houses at 10 grand a piece and bring the whole town up. Right?
Good idea.
My name is Fred Baker. I'm on Warren Street. I've lived here my whole life and probably lived in a trailer for 65 of my 72 years. There's nothing wrong with trailers. I got my trailer that I'm living in right now from Stan Cranker. I was living on River Street in a rat-infested apartment. I just had 2 kids. And Stan called me up and said, "Are you still interested in this property?" I said, "I'll be right up." That was over 40 years ago. And it was literally a godsend for my family. My other family, whole family, a lot of my family lives in trailers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. If somebody has an issue with a trailer, maybe it doesn't look as nice as your house, maybe it's not taken care of, maybe the person is elderly and can't do what they want to do to their property, I would suggest to do the neighborly thing and go mow their lawn once a week, once a month. Take an hour, take 2 hours, mow their front lawn. Trim their freaking hedges. Do a little kindness for your neighbors. Be neighborly. That's what it's all about in this town. That's all I have to say.
Good evening, Gary Cooper, Lake Avenue. I think everybody knows me or don't want to know me, but I have to give everybody compliments that live in a trailer due to the fact that your taxes do not triple. Taxes on a normal 16 by 40, I think they are. Taxes in Warrensburg, I do believe, are $800 to $1,200 a year. I don't think they've doubled or tripled in a single wide trailer. But what they have done is doubled if you put siding on your new home. So anybody in the trailer, God bless you, stay there, keep them nice, and you're going to be low on taxes. My question to the board is, how many people on the board actually own trailers? Mr. Rob, you own 2. Here. Will this affect you as a homeowner of those trailers and you're renting them out? Will this sunset, whatever it is, will it be affecting those that are absentee owners and their income property? Will it affect you if your tenant moves out and you don't have a tenant for 6, 8, 9 months? Now it's vacant. You have to yank it out?
Our current law, zoning law, says that any clear intent to abandon lasting 12 months or more. So if somebody's got a mobile home on their property and they've stopped renting it or working on it.
This was put in 2015, correct?
No,
With zoning?
this goes
way back?
way back, the original zoning. 88.
Okay.
So a clear intent to abandon it for a period of over 12 months. Then the town would come in and say, hey, obviously you're not doing anything with that. It's time for it to go. Let's clean up. So it's not a matter of if a place is in good shape and there's just no tenant in it right now. Might be saving it for somebody that's coming or whatever. Like I said earlier, they don't go vacant very long because there is such a need for this moderate level rent base. You know, people need.
Oh, I understand.
You know,
that's why I want the people to stay in the trailers.
Yeah.
I've never lived in one, sold many of them here in this community when I was in real estate. But there's places for everybody. High end, low end, it doesn't matter. The thing is, we have a good community here in Warrensburg, regardless of income.
The municipal motivation behind these laws is strictly to try to boost, like you're making the point for me, is to boost that assessed value. The theory is if the mobile home wasn't there and somebody built a house, we could tax them more. Well,
that's exactly what the town has done. I've built 12 brand new homes in this community.
So,
they started at 2,800 and now they're all over $6,000 a year in taxes. So, I mean, I give credit to all the people that are in these single wides and double wides because when they're not on the foundation, they are not paying the taxes if it was on a full foundation. And
I disagree. You get taxes as much.
Okay, guys, we need that.
Well, I know, but I just want to say I give credit to everybody in these trailers and we can't eliminate them. Cannot.
We're gonna close the public hearing and then we'll have board discussion real quick. I mean, you guys wanna comment? I know, Robert.
Yeah, this has been almost 2 years for me. I've never been in politics before. It's all brand new. But when this came about, my motivation was exactly what he was talking about, what Brian's talking about, is to help to improve and increase people's value of the property. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I was looking at. So if a property at the time when the trailer was burned and no longer able to be lived in again, then, you know, then people could possibly put a modular or a house on it, depending on the size of the property, so that they could leave something more valuable. No, let me finish, all right? And then, and almost 2 years, that's my motivation, what I was looking at, okay? But it's been, since I've been on the board, this is the biggest turnout that we've ever had. So if people don't come to the meetings and tell us their feelings, we don't always have the same ideas and feelings that you do. But you have to come and tell us. This is what it's all about. A public meeting. Come and tell us what you think. Are we acting like idiots? Well, maybe we are. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just calm down. Let me finish. You talk.
We're not gonna have a back and forth.
I talk.
Between a double wide and a single wide, what it costs to replace that.
You
Before
had
you
your
make
say.
any consideration, that's all we're asking.
You said you had your say. I'm telling you.
And we'll have
what
our say
I
next
looked at.
voting round
Okay,
too.
right,
Excuse me.
wrong, or indifference. This is what I was looking at. Not to throw people out of their trailers, not to give people, that their kids an opportunity to inherit. That's not what I was looking at. So until you hear both sides, you don't know. And this is exactly why you came here today, to let us know that we're thinking right or we're thinking wrong. That's it. Thank you.
So are you gonna vote on it tonight and let us know before we leave?
We're gonna vote on it tonight. I believe we will.
Let's hear that.
John?
I thought we were all gathered tonight to say farewell to me. All I say, folks, loud and clear. It's simple as that. Brian, all his kudos to Brian, all his comments. There's no negative comments about what he said. People want to live where they want to live in what they want to live in. Everything has a time limit, whether it's a stick-built house or a trailer, it's going to go away. It's just 50 years, 75 years, whatever it is, it depends on maintenance of the person that's taking care of it. And it's moved on to somebody else, and put more dollars into it, making it valuable to the next person. It's always, I'm all in with shelving this idea. There's my comments. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna, listen, we talked about this, we voted to put it to public hearing. The public has come out and spoken, and we certainly are not going, well, I can't say until we vote, that we're gonna put something this forward that people don't really care for. And it was not ill-conceived. Is it a dumb idea? Well, it's easy to second guess and say it was a dumb idea. You know, if everything we did up here was easy, everybody would be in these chairs. So sometimes we try to make decisions. We want to get the input from the public. I heard it loud and clear. I had second thoughts about moving ahead with this. Before any of these comments came out, I had a lot of second thoughts about canceling it, but that's not the way government works. We'll have a public hearing, we'll listen to the public, and then we'll make a decision. And I'm prepared to vote tonight. I think my colleagues are prepared to vote tonight. But and all I can say, I thank you. You know, and it wasn't to belittle anybody. It wasn't to belittle anybody's properties. I think we've done a pretty good job here, trying to help people in the community the best we can. We wouldn't apply for community block grant programs if we didn't think we needed to help our community. We wouldn't apply for Main Street grants if we didn't think people want to fix their storefronts on Main Street. And we've been successful. And that's why we're going ahead with more grants, some for mobile homes. I know of the one grant the gentleman's talking about. I didn't know about it till this year, but there are certain organizations like in Saratoga County do come in and replace mobile homes free of charge for people. But people have to be willing to apply for the grants. People have to be willing to come into the town hall and apply for the grants. And I can tell you, this town board does not get involved in where these grants are granted. We don't. We have a separate group that decides people come in, it takes the politics out of it. That's the way we operate. Now, I appreciate it. I don't appreciate some of the comments tonight, but I'm a big boy. I can take it. I've been around. So I'm ready to put this to a vote, Jackie. I think we've closed the public hearing. I think we can get the opinion if we want to, you legalese, you tell me what we should do.
Depending on what motion is before, we wouldn't recommend a motion for approving the local law at this time. If that was the way the board was inclined to go, not saying that they are. If you were inclined to go that way, there are other procedural steps you want to make sure that have been addressed. But if the motion is put forth to table it or not to take any action, you could do that.
No action.
Okay.
That's my motion.
Motion for no action
Yes.
and table it. We have a second.
I don't want to use the word table. I want to put this thing.
Put it to bed and we'll have to get them.
I mean,
Point of order, there is a motion on the floor now.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah,
But it
well,
hasn't been
that-
seconded.
that- No, there is, because the public hearing was not closed, so we've not, now the public hearing's closed.
Yep.
But again, if you wanted to move forward with approving it, we'd recommend you not do that tonight, because there's other steps you should be considering. But if you want to entertain a motion to not move forward with adoption of
That's
the law, you could consider that.
So
make that.
is that your motion not to
Yes.
move forward? Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on not moving forward? I'll ask the clerk to call a roll call vote.
Where do we go there?
Yeah, go forward.
Chicken.
Ask for roll
The
call.
shelf. Wait behind the shelf.
Councilperson Alexander.
Yes.
Councilperson Rouse.
Yes.
Supervisor Garrett.
Yes.
Councilperson Sutton.
Garrett.
Councilperson Quintel. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We will not move forward. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Thank you for listening.
Jackie, we'll do a 5-minute recess. I appreciate
I have several things saying they got
I have hearing aids.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ciao.
Thanks. Pam, you ready? Ready. Go. Get the clock. All right, recess is over. Report of officers, town clerk.
Miss Mary.
Clerk report for October. Dog license, miscellaneous fees for dogs, $5. Marriage license fees, $35. Clerk fees, $8.50. Public health certified copies, $210. Landfill, we have $24,784. Business and occupational licenses, salvage, $25. IPP permits of $5,300, $5,300. Short-term rentals, $2,480. Dog licensing fees, $152. Building permits, $346.50. Septic permits, $75, bringing the total local shares remitted to $33,341.
Okay, supervisors report. Total town funds on hand, $2,521,287.32. Assessor.
Assessor report for November. Work continues on its 2026 rolls. This includes file maintenance, updates, reviews, property record files, and recent sales. This is also the time of year we perform field reviews, exterior inspections, take photos of new construction and other property changes. Over the next few months, we will be working with the Office of Real Property Tax Services on equalization rates for 2026. During the first week of October, your assessor was in attendance at the New York State Association's annual fall conference in Lake George. Classes taken were Beyond the Roll, a deep dive into the role of the assessor presented by the New York State Association of Towns, inventory and cost evaluations, communications towers, and wireless carriers, legal and evaluation challenges and property tax assessments, and nets and bounds, deeds, sketches, and surveys fundamentals.
Okay, Justice.
October, Judge Fisk had 72 cases, $5,578 in fine, $182 in fee, $2,188 in surcharge. Judge Carrillo had 64 cases, $6,707 in fine, $262 fees, $2,517 in surcharge. Total new cases, 102. Money received, what's that, $17,182. September share, $5,987.
Okay, dog control report. She had 4 calls for the month. One was at 12 Terrace Avenue for a dog, where a dog was transported down to Parks and Rec and remained unclean. On October 26th, she was dispatched to Alden Avenue, Rays Road. The dog was transported down to Parks and Rec, was later returned to the owner. And then 29th, she appeared in court for a barking dog complaint. Planning.
You guys didn't get the report.
Planning.
Planning. There were 3 septic and 9 land use and development permits issued the month of October. There are no planning board nor zoning board meetings this month due to lack of applications.
Okay. Enforcement.
Worked on the garage sale, October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, checked on all the permits. commit some of the earlier birds that were setting up to get their permits. Sold 11 permits over Saturday and Sunday, took in a total of $1,050 in fees, which is turned over to town clerk. Was on court twice with a tenant of 6 Marion Avenue. The court fined them $500 for lack of property maintenance. Referred a complaining party to call the sheriff in reference to cars blocking her driveway. Inspected a septic at 450 Golf Course Road. It was installed as designed. Photos were taken and placed in the file. Researched Kratom as directed by the supervisor, provided him with all pertinent information. I also discovered states where it is illegal. In New York State, Suffolk County, it is illegal to sell or possess. Responded to numerous complaints of political signs where positioning was questionable. I contacted the person running for office and had them moved, and they advised them that they would be picked up. October 10th, checked the following streets for signs: Main Street, River Street, and Library Avenue. There were no issues. Discussed with Mr. Dean of the Catholic Church issues they had with vendors during the garage sale and the solutions to them. Assembled 49 packets for short-term rental permits. For those expiring December 31st, 2025, they were mailed to the addresses of record. Inspected a septic installation at 2 Teresa James Street, installed as designed, took photos and placed them in the file. Inspected a septic installed at 616 Pucker Street, was installed as designed, took photos and placed. Checked complaint at 10 South Avenue and warning was issued. Sent the occupant of 8 Stuart Fair Avenue for blocking the sidewalk with a sign. The sidewalk was a public right of way. Renewed 5 short-term rental permits, issued two new short-term rental permits. Sent the owner of 3919 Main Street a notice of possible zoning problems with their over the weekend structure erection. Discussed the proposed sunset law with the press and town residents. Both were advised that the law would not be enacted by the town board. Town would or would not be acted by the town board. I just researched on non-compliance uses and reported to the town board. They make the laws. Advised the fire company of all issued burn permits.
Okay. Highway.
We've been busy this month preparing for the winter season. We have hauled 4,500 yards of road sand and have cleared all obstacles for plowing. We have put all of our equipment that we are not using in the pole barn for storage. Also, we got all equipment changed over for winter season. Respectfully submitted, Pete Badarian, Highway Superintendent.
Okay. Committee reports posted will be beautification, Historia Museum, Parks and Rec, and sewer. Ms. Pino, you're up. I told you.
Thank you. I have faith in you.
You need a chair to stand on.
He's a lower end.
Hi, I'm Mary Bino. I'm here to represent your Richards Library. And to keep you informed what's happening with your library. We have a lot going on at the library, actually. We offer many programs to the community, and we do have a site. Please go on and check out what's happening. We offer sewing classes. She does a wonderful job. She can even helps you maintenance your sewing machine, a pattern, whatever difficulties you may be having, or just looking for a little more enforcement and reference. Are we making the right decision with him? We also offer computer help with your computer, not just the guts of the computer. If you're having a difficult time with your computer, I know I did, and I had to bring it down there. Logan got me out of the mess that I was in, and it took 2 hours. So if you're having a problem with that, or you're having a problem understanding a program, please get a hold of Logan at the library. He is more than willing to help you. He knows his stuff, and it's free. All of this stuff is free. There's a card making program going on for the holidays. Go online and check out what's happening. There's so many things going on. We have a book club. A December calendar is up for you to review. If you have any questions for me. Anybody got any questions? Nothing? Don't look at me that way.
Mary, how did the Fix-It thing go this past weekend?
It went well. I would like to see us get more people to come in that have the ability to help people with certain problems, with whatever that they have, or their knowledge has.
What do you do it twice a year, 3 times a year?
Approximately that. We could do it more if the demand was there, but there's just so many. And if you have ideas that you want your library to think about, give consideration, please stop in and see Shelby. She's smart woman. She's your director of our library and she knows her stuff and we would consider it.
Do you guys have a Facebook page?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, yes, we've had a Facebook page. We also have
We'll start sharing that in some of our friendly communities.
thank you. We have a website too, and all of our calendars are on there. We're open to suggestions that anything you might want us to consider with the board, we will take it into consideration. So have that.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks for listening to me.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Mary. Okay, next we need to do a re-levy on property maintenance costs. People's taxes, the property maintenance cost we're gonna re-levy is $2,337.50. Somebody want to make a motion? Robert, John,
Second.
discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Next, we got to re-levy the water district charges. The water district charges are very high, $99,011.20. Somebody want to make a motion to re-levy the water charges? John? Second. Chop? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
It looks like we're gonna have to start shutting the water off next year when people don't pay. That's way too much money. We cannot operate with this, people owing us that much for water rents. So we need to figure out how we're gonna collect for our water rents. The re-levy for sewer district, the re-levy for the sewer district, it's $95,480. Somebody makes a motion to re-levy the sewer. Motion by Robert, we have a second?
Second.
John, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Again, as I've stated numerous times, people are not paying their water, they're not paying their sewer. That's a good 30 to 40% of our total budget. We can't operate this way. So it's pretty hard to shut sewer off, but it's not hard to shut people's water off if they can't pay. And we give them ample time to pay their bills. But it's catching up with us. You can ask at the end. Need a resolution for supervisor attend ATV meeting in Lake George on December 7th and 8th. The cost would be $125. Motion John, second by Brian, to allow the supervisor attend ATV meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I need a request to allow Warrensburg Beautification Committee to use the town hall bandstand for the Christmas in Warrensburg festivities, and those will be the 6th and 7th of December. Motion, John? Second by Brian, to allow beautification to use the bandstand and the town hall for their Warrensburg, Christmas in Warrensburg festivities. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have a couple of budget modifications. The first one is $1,101.29 transferring out of contingency fund. We're transferring into taxes and assessment municipal, and that's to pay the Warren County taxes, debits, and credits that they send to the town clerk. And I believe it has to do with Spectrum property. Next, we have to transfer $1,500 out of the superintendent of highways contractual over to the 5132-400, which is garage contractual, and that's to cover the cost of the garage up here the rest of the year. The next one will transfer $7,045.32 out of parks contractual, or parks equipment into parks contractual, and that's to cover the parks contractual cost for the balance of the year. Next would be to do an interfund transfer of $19,678.86 and miscellaneous and brush and reeds of $2,500 into machinery contractual, and that's to cover the cost of short in the highway department, and it's $22,178.86. And last but not least, we're transferring from the general fund. That transfer was also from the general fund on highway. And this is from the general fund, $10,000 into the street lighting contractual. And that's to pay the balance of the street lighting bill for the balance of the year. So those are the budget modifications. Somebody want to make a motion? Motion by Brian, second by Robert to do these modifications. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I can tell you in the street lighting, this got us in this fall, or not fall, in the spring when we had $10,000 lighting bills. We have since put all our LEDs in, and the lighting bills are dropping every month, but they still, with the LED lights, we should save a lot of money and get back on track with our lighting district. It's been a long time since we've had to take money out of the general fund for any of these. Motion to pay warrant number 11 tonight is $450,564.37. Somebody want to make a motion to pay the warrant? Jock and Robert, any discussion on the warrant? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now, Mr. Emmons, if you would like to address.
I'm sorry, I want to thank the board for your patience with me tonight, but I just wanted to ask a question. If somebody doesn't pay their water bill and it goes on their taxes, does that, like, what happens there? Don't they have to pay that when?
I'll explain these. We have a real problem with people not paying their water rents.
Okay.
And it's billed quarterly.
Mhm.
And it's usually not this high. When they don't pay the rents, there's a 10% penalty put on the bills. Then at the end of the year, like now, we do the true up. And this is the most money we've had to re-levy on people's taxes. The problem with it is it's not helping us complete what we need to do. If we had to replace a pump, we don't have that money. So it goes to Warren County. It's re-levied on their taxes, and we have to wait till the taxes are paid at Warren County. Now, it may be 3 months before we get that, recover that money.
I completely understand. I understand that part. I understand that, and I've been guilty of that myself. I'll stand right here and say, the bill comes in, I'm working 60, 70 hours a week, keeping people's heat on. I understand how that works. I shuffle it off, and then at the end of the year, I write the check for my taxes. What happens when the house goes into foreclosure? Do you guys get paid for that?
Warren County always makes the town whole for the money.
Okay, that was my question. It's like,
Yeah, we get made whole by Warren County.
Yeah.
But then you gotta remember, Warren County makes all the school districts whole too. So when people don't pay, it can come up.
No, I completely beat business. I understand, because like if somebody wants to go 30, 60, 90 on me, I understand how that works. I understand it takes money out of your pocket.
You look at a lot of these bills, they're not a lot of money.
No.
And we put forth a lot of effort to remind people, but it seemed like this quarter, this is a lot of money for us to re-levy. And it's just like if you're doing a job and the person doesn't pay you, you may not be able to start your other job. So I bring this up, we bring it up, we want to put it out for the public to understand. Please, water and sewer are vital to the community. They need to pay their bills.
I completely understand. That wasn't a discrepancy on them paying their bills. I just want to know how it worked, because that's a huge loss for the town. If this county, if something happens to the taxes and they don't reimburse the town.
They do. We end up, what you do with your levy, you collect your taxes here, and then we go into February and we actually collect taxes here until April. But if people are finding it hard times, which is hard times out there right now, so they may not want to pay their taxes for 3 or 4 months. So we're going to be out that money until we get.
So I lived in another place for a short amount of time, and the one thing that I saw in some of the counties that some of the other ones were doing was they were lowering the amount that people were paying, same at the end of the year, but they were doing it in smaller increments. Does the town have a payment plan for people who are just barely scraping by? Like,
as far as the taxes?
As far as like the water and septic that you're asking for them to pay, does the town make provisions? I know it costs more. I understand how that works. You got more paperwork, more people touching papers. I completely understand. I agree. But shouldn't you guys have some kind of committee to say to people, say, hey, listen, I know that you're hurting. Can we get you to pay it monthly? Like, look at all those people that are on Social Security. I mean,
We do it quarterly.
Special cases.
But we can look into that. I mean, I don't know what's by the law, what's out there for us.
I just asking. Thank you guys for your time.
But we do know people are hurting too.
Yeah.
Anybody else? We should address the board tonight.
I'm gonna talk to you, Jim Hall, taxpayer, and then Jim Hall, the code enforcement guy. Me as a taxpayer and living in the town of Warrensburg, I don't care if property owners let their grass grow over 3 feet tall. I don't care if you got 3 junk cars in your yard. I don't care if you got enough garbage to fill a dump truck. I don't care if you go to a dollar store and buy a blue tarp and throw it over your roof. I don't care if you bury a 57 Chevy in the ground and say you've got a new septic system. I don't care if your windows are smashed out and you put cardboard in them and plywood. I don't care if you go get a goat and tie it to a chain out back of your house and tie it to the bumper of a junk car. I don't care if the occupants of your houses turn the yard into a dirt track raceway around the house, that there's a pile of mattresses and everything else imaginable piled up 10 feet high, which has now been set on fire, that the property has burned down and now remains there for an extended period of time, that chickens are running wild all over other people's property, destroying their flowers, their property, relieving themselves on their decks and their sidewalks, or that they park their vehicles on the streets during winter storms that prevent snowplows from moving the snow, or that their septic system has failed and now everyone for 2 streets can smell it. And the list could go on and on. I don't care as a taxpayer. You pay me from 7 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon to care as code enforcement officer. You asked me to go out and review non-conforming uses, just like they did for short-term rentals, donation bin laws, storage unit laws, and fireworks laws. That's what I did. The information I gave to you came out of this book, published by New York State, not Jim Hull, New York State, and not Patty Corvo. And on page 14, it talks all about, published by the state of New York, how to sunset mobile homes, published by the state of New York, not Jim Hull. And if there's anybody up there that you people don't want me to enforce these rules and regulations on that are written by this town board and previous town boards, give me their name and I never will darken their door again. We had 64 people that we had to force to mow their lawn. You can call it control or whatever you want this year. 64 people that wouldn't mow their lawns. But I'll tell you the biggest thing I don't like is I don't like being gaslighted over this deal with these trailers. I've had people corner me in the drugstore on the street corner, want to kick my ass and everything else because this was Jim Hull that was doing all this. And I went on the record that Jim Hull wasn't doing anything except what he was told to do was to research non-conforming uses. And that's what comes up in New York State is mobile homes. So anybody doesn't want it, you can print this thing off. It's on page 14. You can read it. And that's what I supplied to you people. So if there's people out there that you don't want to obey by the laws that you put in, give me their names and I never will darken their door again. That's all I got to say. But I don't appreciate getting gaslighted out in the public for whatever reason to make me look like the bad guy. I'm the bad guy enough. That's why you have a code enforcement officer. You guys don't want to go out there and tell people to mow their lawns or clean the shit up that they've got all over the place. So I go out and deal with them. I don't care. You pay me to do it. After 1 o'clock when I go home, I could care less what goes on. But I think it's BS for people to gaslight the people in this town and lay all this on to me. Baloney.
Anybody else? Okay.
I'd like to address Jim. Sure. The information that you gave me, helped me decide that trying to improve the town of Warrensburg. I appreciate that. I thank you for that. We have an open public meeting. People came out and expressed themselves. That's what it's all about. You did your job. We thought we were doing our jobs. They did their job. And we made decisions on the people in this town coming to the meeting. As you see, they all left. Why shouldn't they have stayed here for the rest of the meeting? That's the problem. Nobody stays for the meeting and nobody knows what's going on until somebody gaslights them over internet or wherever else and gets them out of here. Well, that's wrong. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Last.
I understand, but you're bringing up a new topic, and I have an idea for the town. So I see on the Channel 8 News that that's all over. So what stops the town from putting for people? I know there's probably 30 or 40 people that are interested in what goes on here every time, but they have to work. So why don't you guys come in here, videotape this, and put it on Facebook? And then.
Tom, you're standing right next to Rob.
Right
Yeah, right now you're.
So wait a minute, where does the town find this information? Where do the tax?
That was my point. That's how I came to do the video I put out there, which was 100% accurate. I just wanted the people to know exactly what was being said, what was going on. Because that law was a blindsided me. I'm a planning and zoning guy for years. Nobody come to me and said, hey, what's going on? What do we do about non-conforming uses? I could have rattled off the answers right then to anybody. You leave them the fuck alone. is what you do.
So who did this? who kicked the dog on the way by? Whose idea was it to drag Mr. Hull into finding out what this is, to start a shitstorm for him? I would like to know, as a taxpayer, who directed Mr. Hull to do this?
The town board.
We did.
You guys did. Okay.
Well, you have,
Hey,
you've known me for an awful long time, okay? Listen, there's formalities you have to go through to be able to
John,
do
I
certain
completely
things.
understand. You know what?
Just
I'll
so you
be honest with you. To adjust your thing, Mr. Sutphin, I didn't give two craps about politics until people start peeing in my cornflakes. Okay, and I'm over it. Like,
I didn't follow what you just said.
so I didn't care about politics until it started directly affecting me and mine. I didn't care. Like, you guys do whatever you want to do, taxes or blah, blah, blah. You're good there. Now, all of a sudden, we're starting to put stuff on the board. Now I'm involved because it's me and my family. So I'm asking questions to understand more about what the town's doing.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
And I'm sorry that I'm very emotional about it, but when it comes to my family, I'm sure all of you are the same way.
I pay taxes too. I pay taxes.
No, I'm not.
I have family too.
Completely understand.
Bob, I understand. We heard the people tonight.
I just am asking for more information so people like me can share the information out to other people.
It's on
Right.
our,
Okay.
If you do websites, it's on our website.
Perfect.
And Rob, I'm sorry, I do Bob and Rob.
You
know that. But listen, you don't have to, it's not just live. You go back, if you're off tomorrow morning, you can watch it tomorrow
Right.
morning.
That's why I'm asking, because I've been in this town my whole life. I played sports with this guy. Okay. I know. I've known this guy since I was 8 years old. Okay. I'm telling you, like, I understand, but I've never seen this. I've never heard of it. So what I'm saying to you is the town should be more informative to the people, and you would get much more feedback if the town would spend the money, not all these stuff that starts Facebook controversies that nobody wants to talk about. The place down here, Dollar General, solar fields. Why is the town not using the firehouse for anything but elections? That was I swear I heard that the grant that went in there was to make a community center, and the only time that it's used is for elections. That's not a community center. I'm asking information so I can learn, so I can bring these things to the attention of the town.
Commissioners meeting the second Monday of every month. You can ask that question.
I'm sure that you guys will be sick of me by the time this is over, but thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate your patience with me, all of you. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? Motion, we are adjourned.
All right. You said. Happy Thanksgiving all.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Welcome aboard, Scott. Happy, huh?
Beat the fire, Scott.
Now you want to start, you should have started today. Today you should have started.
Good, Kevin.
Saturday, whatever. Listen, Jackie?